Good morning, fourth graders. Welcome to math class. Go ahead and prepare for math by getting out your math book and your pencil. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Let's start with just a quick review. If I were to show you this, what is this in geometry? This is a point. That's right. What if we take a point and we continue that on in one direction? What is this called? This is called a ray. Very good. Now, what if we have two rays and we put them together so that they're sharing the same point or the same vertex? What is this called? Well, this is called an angle. And today we're going to spend half of our time talking about just that, angles. Today we're going to learn that just like with yesterday, if you have two angles that are the same shape and the same size, those are called congruent angles. That's the first thing that we need to know. Congruent means the same shape and the same size. Look at both of these angles. They're exactly, can you see? They're exactly the same shape, the same size. So we say that they are congruent. Now, I'm going to share my screen with you to show you a different type of angle. Look at this poor little dog. He is not having a good day. He is trying to get his poor little geometry sign up so hard, he is sweating. But look at the angle that his sign is currently at. Do you see the post of the sign, the two red lines there? Well, notice that for the two red lines, that's actually showing an angle. And for this angle, notice how the angle is very small. It's so small, it's so cute. It's actually called an acute angle. An acute angle is any angle that is less than 90 degrees. Now I know what you're thinking, whew, 90 degrees, that is hot. No, I'm not talking about degrees as in temperature. We use that same degree symbol, the little circle, to show how large or how small an angle's opening is. If we have a right angle, remember we talked about how a right angle is like an L shape, it's perfectly straight up and perfectly out to the side, that is 90 degrees. Anything less than that is called an acute angle. Look at his post, the red post. It's forming an acute angle. This is an example of an acute angle as well. Acute angles are so cute because they're so little. They're always less than 90 degrees. Let's look at our next one. Bless it, he is just not having a day with this sign, not having a good day. This angle, still look at the red post, it is greater than 90 degrees, that perfect L straight up and straight across, but it's less than 180 degrees. Now I'm going to show you what 180 degrees is in just a little bit. But anytime you have something more than 90 degrees, we say that it is an obtuse angle, an obtuse angle. This is an obtuse angle. Now, let's go back to that straight angle. Bless his heart. He just has a big sigh there. Notice how we have the vertex or the point in the center, and we have a ray on this side, a ray on the other side, and they're exactly straight. They make 180 degrees, and this is called a straight angle. Notice it's called a straight angle and not a straight line, okay? This is a straight angle. If it were a line, it wouldn't have the point. But because it does have a point right here, it's called a straight angle. A straight angle is always 180 degrees. And you've heard me talk about this before, the right angle. He finally got it just right. It's standing straight up the way that he wants it to. A right angle is always 90 degrees. I knew that little pup could do it. Now you can make your own angles at home. Check out what this person did. They some popsicle sticks. Oh, there's the whole sign, so you can see it in its whole entirety. All 4 of them, acute, obtuse, straight, and right. They took some popsicle sticks and they arranged them to make some of our geometric figures from previous lessons. Do you see the perpendicular? Do you see the parallel lines, the intersecting lines? Well, they also made an acute angle, a right angle, and an obtuse angle as well. Okay, not only are we going to be talking about angles, but we're also going to be talking about triangles today. Now, when I say triangle, you're probably thinking of this right here, but there's actually lots of different kinds of triangles. Take a look at this sailboat. And Tegan, if you're watching, I hope you're having a wonderful trip as you're sailing around the world with your family right now. Well, perhaps when you see a sailboat, Tegan, or other students, the next time you see a boat, notice the sails on the boat. The sails may be different shapes and different sizes, but if it has 3 sides, it's always going to be a triangle. Notice that there are actually 4 different kinds of triangles. One triangle is the right triangle. A right triangle will always have one angle and only one angle that has a 90-degree angle in it. This is called a right triangle. It is a right triangle because it has one right angle. The next type of triangle is called an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle. Now, how many eyes did God give you? 2. One here and one there. For an isosceles triangle, emphasis on the I for this point, an isosceles triangle has 2 sides and 2 angles that are exactly the same. Remember, we call those congruent. 2 sides of an isosceles triangle are exactly the same, and you're going to see that little symbol right there. It looks like the little equal sign. That actually means congruent. So this is equal to that. This is an isosceles triangle. It has 2 sides and 2 angles that match perfectly. They're the same shape and the same size. I want you to go to the farthest triangle and notice how it says equilateral. Well, when I hear the word equilateral, it makes me think of the word equal. And equal means everything is the same. And that's exactly how it works with an equilateral triangle. For an equilateral triangle, all 3 sides are exactly the same length. All 3 angles are exactly the same number of degrees. Now, you probably noticed that I missed one. I skipped over it. I skipped over it because, well, as a 4th grader, you don't need to worry about it right now. But I'm going to tell it to you anyways, just so that you'll be ready for next year. That other one is called scaling. I'll say that again, scaling. Scaling is a little odd. None of its sides are the same length. If you were to take a tape measure and measure out all 3 of those sides, all 3 of them would be different. And all 3 of the angles are completely different. There are none that are the same. Whew, we talked about a lot this morning in our study of angles and triangles, but there's still some more to go. I'd like for you to go ahead and open up your book to our page today. We're on lesson 136, page 245. Would you join me? Let's look at that first section. Number 1, name the type of triangle. Notice the equal signs. The equal signs mean congruent. For the first one, letter A, it says that we have 2 sides that are congruent. What do we call the type of triangle where 2 sides are congruent? Isosceles. Remember, you have 2 eyes, and an isosceles triangle has 2 sides and 2 angles that are exactly the same. Letter A is isosceles. Isosceles. Letter B. Did you notice the little square that they put The little square always represents 90 degrees. In a triangle, if there is a 90-degree angle, there will only be one 90-degree angle. Letter B is called a right triangle. A right triangle has one 90-degree angle. It could be here or there, but it will only have one. This is a right triangle. Letter C, look for those little equal signs again. Those equal signs are the signs that say it is congruent. Same shape, same size. How many of those little equal signs do you see? 3. That means all the sides and all of the angles are exactly the same. They're all equal. So this triangle is an equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. I know some of these words might be new for you, so we're just going to have to practice how we pronounce an equilateral triangle. Now, that brings me to the next section and the next thing I want to teach you about. For all triangles, and I'll go back to this screen so that you can see it one more time, it doesn't matter whether you have a scalene triangle, an equilateral triangle, an isosceles triangle, or a right triangle. If we were to add up the number of degrees in all three of the angles, it will always equal 180 degrees. Always. It can never be more than 180 degrees, and it can never be less than 180 degrees. In our next challenge that we see in our math book, they are giving us some triangles. However, they're only telling us the degrees of 2 of the angles. It's our job to figure out what exactly is the size of the third angle. Let me show you how that will work. Grab your pencil. For the first triangle, it says that one angle is a 90-degree angle. Remember, this is the same degree symbol that we use in temperature. What you're going to do is the first step is you will add what you have. Add what you have. What is the first step? Add what you have. $90 plus 60 is 150 degrees. The first step is add what you have. What is the first step? Add what you have. The second step, because we know that all triangles, it doesn't matter what, if they're scalene, isosceles, equilateral, it doesn't matter. All triangles equal 180 degrees. We know that we have so far a total of 150. In order to figure out what is left, ooh, there's our key word, we must subtract to figure out the difference in how much is left. 150 degrees will be our subtrahend. 180 degrees will be our minuend. Let's subtract to find the difference. The difference was 30 degrees, and 30 degrees is the size of the missing angle. Let's try that again for letter B. The first angle is 45 degrees. The second angle is 90 degrees. What is the first step to find out the missing angle? The first step is to add what you have. 5, 13. Don't forget that little degree symbol. The second step is to subtract what we have from what we know triangles always have. Triangles always have 180 degrees in them, so let's subtract 135. Bigger bottom, better borrow. 8 becomes a 7, 0 becomes a 10. 5 from 10, 5. 3 from 7, 4. The difference was 45 degrees. Therefore, the missing angle in this triangle was 45 degrees. Nice job. We have learned so much today about the different types of angles and also about different types of triangles. The rest of this page is going to be reviewing the different geometric shapes and symbols that we've talked about on Monday and Tuesday. I'm so eager to see how much you remember and also to be able to help you in some things that we have forgotten. I can't wait to see you at reading groups today, and we'll talk some more math a little later on. Have a great day. Bye-bye.